Where the 2016 Vanderbilt spring football game is ready to get underway. Mike Morgan alongside Cole Kublik. We will see plenty here at the annual black and gold installment. As Cole mentioned, not your typical game. It's not going to be a 60-minute clock with 4 quarters and just strap it on and play regular football. We're going to start with a little kickoff competition. Special teams. Cole, there's no way to sugarcoat this. They were brutal last year for Vanderbilt. That's why they brought in a new special teams coach. More on that later. But in the meantime, it all starts with kickoffs and kickoff coverage. And they're going to see if they can actually kick it off and hit that flag. Try to pin them inside the 5. So we'll see how effective one of the top kickers in the SEC last year, Tommy Openshaw, will be. A 6'2 junior out of Jacksonville, Florida. He did double duty last year, both kicking and punting. Again, in the spring, he's been very effective, 27 of 32 on field goals, so they feel awfully good about their kicking game.
And they would like to get him away from having to deal with multiple options, kicking, punting, and field goals. But I don't think a lot of fans understand, Mike, placement on where the ball ends up on kickoffs is critical because you call a certain coverage before the ball is kicked off. And if you get the ball out of those lanes, all of a sudden you're opening up a potential return based on where your coverage team is going to be lined up.
The first boot, trying to nail that flag, hits the flag, and then goes out into the end zone. So how are we scoring that one? I guess that's what you want as you see the new special teams coach, Jeff Jenick. He was a head coach at Eastern Michigan for 5 years. The last couple of years, a special teams coach for Northwestern. He was very outspoken with us yesterday in the meetings, and that they have a whole lot of work to do. Last year, special teams was a major weak spot for Vanderbilt football. The defense was constantly defending short fields, and this year they expect vast improvement.
I think kick one a success. He got the flag, got a piece of the flag. You're going to force a returner to bring that ball out. That's what you want.
I'm giving him that. We'll give him a point on that. Openshaw again.
Short maybe.
That one's going to bounce short. So 1 for 2 so far for Tommy Openshaw, the junior out of Jacksonville. There you see Coach Jenick looking on. He has mastered special teams down to his science. I mean, we were just sitting there blown away by all the statistics he was able to rattle off in all his different spots coaching special teams. And special teams has become an area now where more and more colleges and head coaches are hiring guys like Coach Jenick to run the special teams and to spend more time in your 20 hours per week of practice to try to perfect it.
I think you see Derek Mason there even thinking to himself, why did I agree to this? This is unbelievable. We're letting kickers kick off to a flag. Definitely got some leg behind that one.
He definitely did. It's been a little bit windy here today in addition to cool. So 1 out of 3 will be the total for Tommy Openshaw. Now, Cole, enough of this kicking stuff. You can get fired up. Little Oklahoma drill time.
Boy, this is where it gets real. This is man up, mano-y-mano. This is gut check time right here. If you're a football player, a lot of fun. Pads low, driving out. There you go. That's a touchdown for the offense.
It's Bruno Reagan working on Torrey Agee one-on-one.
6'3", 316, Bruno Reagan coming out low center of gravity. This is rapid fire, so you got to keep your eyes on who's going to be up next.
Vanderbilt offensive line expected to have 4 returning starters from a year ago. Could be a strength of this football team. Last year, again, they were able to run the football rather well with Ralph Webb and open up some holes. It was the passing game that did them in.
Oh, yeah, nice push there. Big 75 Bailey Grenier. Pads low. That's a nice job there on defense. Adam Butler. I tell you, utilize the hands, get him in the breastplate, push that offensive lineman off, but you make a tackle.
Butler, a returning starter.
Nice movement. Nice job keeping the feet running. Justin School. This is a tight ends group here. Now, this is a group that we're going to be talking a lot about today, Mike. Tight ends, Jaron Pinkney right there, somebody who can get out, catch the ball, do some things in the open field, but they want to see those guys line up next to the tackle and get some movement as well, be physical.
Yeah, the coaching staff telling us the tight end's the most improved unit on this offense, and they're going to throw to him a lot more as well.
Sam Dobbs there, 84, another tight end getting some work. Here come the big boys. This is what I'm talking about right here.
You could just watch 60 minutes of this, couldn't you?
I really could. That's an excellent job. Excellent job by Ian Pfeiffer, getting the hands inside, staying engaged with that defender, not letting him come up and make a play. This is why it's not necessarily geared for the defense. A lot of the drills that you run don't necessarily favor the offense. They favor the defense. This is one that sort of favors the offense because the back has that option to just make a quick cut late, and if that defender even lunges the wrong direction, back's going to score.
You saw just a moment ago on that last one, 23 Blossom game, who they converted from linebacker to running back and fullback. He's going to be a big part of that blocking from the backfield this year.
And they need it. They need bonus bigs. Vanderbilt's going to have that. Andy Ludwig's offense likes to have bonus bigs in the backfield helping out in the run game. They lacked bulk outside of the offensive line last season.
You saw Blossom game carry one. The coaching staff just raved about 23. He's a sophomore out of Newmarket, Alabama, and a guy that is one of the best athletes on the team. For more on Kari Blossom game, let's send it down to Dawn.
Yeah, guys, you're talking about Kari. Andy Ludwig called him the acquisition of the offseason for his offense. Last year, of course, he was on the other side of the ball. He did play running back in high school, but they rave about his transition, and he said picking up the offense hasn't been difficult for him at all. He's a really smart kid. He said he spent a lot of time with Ralph Webb and Dallas Rivers. They are really helping him in this transition, but he's going to be a big part of this offense.
Dawn, good stuff. Offensive coordinator Andy Ludwig said point blank he is the #1 acquisition of the season for us on what we want to do.
He just adds a different attitude. He brings a linebacker mentality to the offense, and this offense lacked that a little bit last year. There were times when they got bogged down, could not move the chains, couldn't get it done in the run game. Nice push, nice penetration there from Riley Tyndall, 95 out of Billingsley, Alabama. It was a pretty good push by offensive lineman. See how if the defender there wants to try and get a push and try to knock an offensive lineman back to the backfield like Josh Smith, 25, just did there. That back could just make his cut a little bit earlier, and he scoots off to the races.
Oklahoma drill is done. Cole Kublik already shedding a tear, as that is the most love we're going to give to the offensive lineman probably the rest of the day. Some nice shifty running there on one of the drills. And we welcome you back to Nashville. Got a couple things going on now, as on one end of the field we'll see some 7-on-7, and then also simultaneous to that we'll have some pass rush drills going on, so a good chance to see the passing game and the actual pass rush game.
It's a way to separate guys and really focus in on certain aspects of the game. Protection, you're going to be working on right here with offensive line and defensive line. This is one-on-one. Again, mano-y-mano. This is where you really have a chance to prove yourself. You see 61 Bruno Reagan here, right guard. Got out on his toes a little bit. You see him lunge forward there, try to win with the punch, allow your defender to come into you. Torrey Agee, nice move, swim back inside. As a guard, offensive lineman, you want to set back, stay in your heels, don't lunge out on your toes. Here we get a little center nose guard work. Nife Elialo, nice little rip move to the right there. Have to set back. Must gain depth as a center in pass pro. If you don't get back, you're not going to be able to get lateral and man up your defender.
Gauger is their returning starting center. They feel good about him handling those duties this year. Meanwhile, on the left side of your screen there, you're seeing some 7-on-7 drills. This has become much more normal now in watching teams practice. You have 7-on-7 leagues. You see off-season 7-on-7 drills. And I know as a former lineman, this drives you crazy, Cole, but you see a lot of coaches using this more and more.
Well, this is what youth football really has become today. And 7-on-7 camps in football have basically become 7-on-7 teams have become the AAU of what basketball is, leading in to go play college football. A lot of 7-on-7 coaches now are trying to be recruiters for some of their guys and trying to build those relationships with college coaches. And it can really help your game. I think it helps more from a communication standpoint the understanding of where to be in a route, when to get out of a route based on coverage, where the football is going to be. All those nonverbals can go a long way in 7-on-7.
The young man you just saw throwing that pass, number 12, that is Wade Freebeck. And he is a 6'5 junior out of a heralded program down there in South Florida, St. Thomas Aquinas, where Joey Boza and so many others attended, including going back to the days of Michael Irvin. He is expected to give Kyle Shermer, who we talked about at the top of the broadcast, a run for his money. They're both going to have about 20 reps today when they actually are scrimmaging 11-on-11. Last year, he threw for over 400 yards. The problem with him has been accuracy. And one of the things that offensive coordinator Andy Ludwig told us, he said, we need to see from our quarterbacks, he used the term repetitive accuracy. Don't just go on a hot streak. You need to be accurate for 4 quarters.
A team like Vanderbilt that's a little bit behind in the numbers, maybe not going to be as big physically as other teams. You don't just win with strategy and X's and O's. You win with execution. And so you can't go out there and overthrow a crossing pattern on 3rd and 4 that's wide open and give the ball to your opponent and allow them to score. Those little things, like Coach Ludwig said, the repetitive accuracy, is what comes back to haunt you late in games and gives you L's.
Last year, Vanderbilt nearly at the bottom in every single passing category, although Kyle Shermer, who you see there, started 5 of the last 6 games, led them to 2 victories in conference play against Kentucky and Missouri. So it's kind of a 1A, 1B. We put the coaching staff on the spot yesterday. They would not commit to a guy at all. They believe it's going to be a great battle. And you see the offensive coordinator for the Commodores, and what Andy Ludwig is hoping to improve on. I mean, 15 points a game in this league is just not going to get it done. And at times they ran it well, but they never could get any flow in the passing game. Andy Ludwig, who came from Wisconsin, coached Melvin Gordon, among others, on those great Badger teams, is trying to see who his best players are. It all starts with that quarterback spot.
All right, so we'll talk through personnel here as Shermer's going to bring this team out of the huddle here. You got 21 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 back. We mentioned the tight ends and how critical they're going to be in this offense under Coach Ludwig. So you've got an offset tight end, tight right, slot receiver up top. Motion 1 tight end, so you'll exchange them, now even up the formation. And a solid read. And what you're going to see here from Derek Mason's defense is those edge defenders, the outside linebackers. They're either going to rush and they get drop out in coverage. That's going to be one of the earlier reads for your intermediate routes. If you're looking to flare to the back out of the backfield, if you want to throw a slant, those are where you can get a pick 6 in a hurry, and all of a sudden you're throwing a game away.
That last catch made by Trent Sherfield. We put the coaching staff on the spot. I said number 10 is the closest thing we have right now to a go-to receiver. They also expect big things out of C.J. Duncan, who will be back from an Achilles injury 2 years ago. Did not play at all last year. And there you see C.J. Duncan, the junior from Montgomery, Alabama. We've seen drills. We've seen 7-on-7. Now it's time to play 11-on-11 here in Nashville. Vanderbilt spring game coverage continues after this. He's Cole Kublik. I'm Mike Morgan. And Cole, I'll let you break down the scoring scenario here of this spring game.
Sure. Who doesn't want to see a defensive touchdown go for 12 points and basically make it a 2-score game?
There you see it, quarterback firing the first pass for an 8-yard pickup caught by Sherfield. That's Kyle Shermer. And this is created by the coaches, so the defense really has a chance to rack up a lot of points if they can force a couple of turnovers. That's something that Vanderbilt did not do a great job of last year, although they had a lot of fumble recoveries, but they'd like to see some more interceptions, and they're going to have to make some plays. But again, a veteran defense which returns 4 of its top 5 tacklers from a year ago. Rivers, the lone back, and they'll feed him behind the left side of the line. He is popped and dropped, bottled up right at the 45 near the line of scrimmage.
That zone read, a play that's not going to be as effective in this scrimmage situation, Mike, because you don't have to respect the quarterback. A nice play by Charles Wright, 47 outside linebacker. He's going to crash down and take that running back. No need to stay out in front of a QB who technically can't hurt you with his legs because he's non-contact.
Vanderbilt does have an all first-team performer at linebacker. Zach Cunningham had 103 tackles a year ago. Out of the shotgun, Shermer with a 5-man rush. Almost flushed out, sets up the screen. Fouled up near the line. Dallas Rivers, he squeezes out a yard. So far, the advantage goes to the defense, which has a lot of returning starters and some of the top players, including that man, number 41, Zach Cunningham, who made the All-SEC coaches and media first team. 103 tackles, 16 and a half tackles for loss. He has been a machine, the junior out of Pinson, Alabama.
He's a playmaker. Just outside of Birmingham, Pinson, Alabama. Zach Cunningham, 4.5 sacks last year, led the team. 3 games over 10 tackles last year for this Commodore defense.
Empty backfield here on second down for Shermer. Heavy pursuit from the blind side. They don't let you tee off on the quarterback like they would in a regular game. If they did, Charles Wright might have had a sack and a forced fumble. It's a loss of 7 on the play.
Right side of your screen, 75, Bailey Grenier. Watch him open up the hips to the sideline. Just basically attacks the defender. You see him kind of run after the defender there. I know it's a play action, but you still have to sort of give ground to gain ground. You can't attack an outside defender like that and not cover him up with your body. Opened up a lane for Charles Wright to get to the quarterback. A couple plays on this drive early from Charles Wright.
Charles Wright battling for some playing time from that outside linebacker spot. They'll run a lot of 3-4 and 3-3-5 under Coach Derek Mason. 4-man rush here, settling in the pocket, and there's a drop. Man was open. That's Jared Pinckney, and that's one of those two tight ends that the coaching staff was so high on.
3-man front. Look at the nose guard and linebacker. They're going to exchange into the 2 A gaps, and a nice job. The center and 2 guards picking up that little twist inside, and then a drop right over the middle. Jared Pinckney, this is something that happened last season. Sort of got the yips and was not as consistent as a receiver, but the coaching staff is very, very high on this young man. 6'4", 250.
They're high on Pinckney, and they're really high on 83 Nathan Marcus, who we have not seen yet. And he's been the biggest surprise of the spring thus far on offense. Now it's Stankiewicz, whose pops was a starting quarterback in North Carolina in the 80s. Hands off to Crawford, and he is stuffed behind the line for a loss of 1.
Torrey Agee, 94. You mentioned dad's playing ball. Torrey Agee, his dad played at Auburn, blocked for Bo Jackson.
Blocked for Emmitt Smith.
Blocked for Emmitt Smith with the Cowboys. March right over center. A nice job by Agee. Use the hands. Toss that center off. Playing it from the backside A-gap. Coming flat down the line of scrimmage and making a play in the backfield. Nice technique.
Agee, one of those returning starters on the Vanderbilt defense. He'll stay on the ground. Not this time. No chance. A couple of black jerseys, including Josh Crawford, number 22, leading the charge.
And 69, Adam Butler, who I thought was the most impressive player in the Oklahoma drills. You see big 69 there, belly hanging out over the belt. 6'5", 300-pound senior. This defense, in my opinion, Mike, they need more Adam Butlers.
Right.
More beef. More big guys in the middle who can eat up space, who can penetrate, disrupt, cause problems. Adam Butler is what I think when I envision an SEC defensive tackle.
So you've got a 3rd down and long here. Stankiewicz out of the gun. Pocket collapsing, bumping around, now flushed out. And they just throw it away. Nobody open downfield. Terrific coverage by that Vanderbilt secondary.
So we'll see Adam Butler again, 69, 94, Torrey Agee, right in the middle of your screen. Tackle, twist. Left guard comes off. They can't handle it. Forces the QB outside of the pocket. There's the twist inside. Now you're just on the run. Nice decision to get rid of the football and not try and force it. That's what got this offense in trouble this season.
Right.
Trying to force things when they were not there.
That's 1 point for the defense on a 3 and out. And to your point, last year at the spring game, the quarterbacks for Vanderbilt combined for 5 interceptions. That's not what you want to see today if you're a Commodores fan. So 1st down and 10 now. On play action, Stankiewicz with time, fires complete. Inside the 45 of the defense. Catch is made by number 87, Winston Guillory, for 21 yards.
take a look at Guillory here on the outside. Nice move, heavy play action, so you know it's a route that's going to need time to develop. Goes up and makes that catch, withstands some contact. Nice job by the sophomore out of Dallas, Texas.
Try to keep this scoring system honest. That's 1 point because it was a play covering 15 or more yards. First and 10. Into plus territory now at the 44. Back to the ground game. Decent sized hold that time for Josh Crawford. Again, Ralph Webb not playing today. He was the 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. They know what they've got at number 7. They feel awfully good about him. It's the other guy, touted freshman. They want to see what those guys can offer up as well.
10 of Ralph Webb's 23 career games, he's been over 100 all-purpose yards. More yards in his first 2 seasons than any player in Vanderbilt history. You said it best, Mike. They understand what they have in Ralph Webb. He's a dynamic back, but I don't think he's a 35, 40 carry a game back, so you're going to need somebody to offset a few of those carries as the season progresses.
The guy in the backfield now is one of those guys, Blasingame, who's going to block on this play. Pass is caught. Talk about threading the needle inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A beautiful strike there for a pickup of 12 yards. That's Darius Sims on the reception, who's a great return man. He can run the ball, he can catch the ball. He's their versatility guy.
Yeah, they'll line him up in the backfield. He'll go slot. He led the team in kickoff return yardage a season ago. He's 5'9", 186, so you don't want to put him in harm's way very much, but I like the way he fought for the football there. Kept his body between the defender, understood where the ball was going to hit him, go out and make a catch in traffic.
On first down, 2 receivers to the near side. Blasingame is the back. Play action. Looking over the middle, and that one falls short of the target. Intended for Guillory. There's Ralph Webb, who's a young man, a redshirt junior out of Gainesville, Florida, former Purple Hurricane. They stole him right there in Gator territory.
He is a dynamic back. He's someone who you can shift out of the backfield. 24 catches, almost 200 yards receiving a season ago, 2 touchdown receptions. Versatility. I think what Coach Ludwig would really like to do is find a secondary back and run some 2-back sets where they can motion him out of the backfield, do some different things like with the Darius Sims we just mentioned. Keep the defense on their toes, forcing them to move in and out of the box.
Stankavich 2 of 4. Missiles one here, completed the 16-yard line and spun down is Reese Wilson, number 46, after a gain of 15 yards.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Stankavich of handling the snap. Watch, a little wide right. Whoop, gonna go get it with the right hand. Composure, understanding, still going to have to get rid of this football. Dig routes coming right back to you. 10 yards, he's going to hit right back towards the quarterback.
And after the yak, the yards after catch, it's a 15-yard gain plus, so another point on the board for the goal.
And this is the spot, Mike, where last year things were atrocious for this offense. They have to find ways inside the red zone, inside the 15-yard line to come away with points.
Blasingame to the left of Stankavich, who missiles one over the middle, incomplete. Receiver was pushed, but no flag on the play from the back judge. Intended for Guillory again.
More issues with the snap. Nice push from 94, Torrey Agee. He's going to be over left guard. And again, that just disrupts the rhythm and the timing of a quarterback. Well, you won't hear more from a quarterback than when you come back to the huddle after a bad snap. They love to chirp after those bad snaps, even if they're off just 6-7 inches. Bad snap. They're not afraid to come back and tell you.
And that'll wind us down to the end of this segment. Black on top of the gold by a score of 5-2. More coverage of the Vanderbilt spring football game from Nashville when we return.
There's only 2 types of people in this world, limited and limitless. And you got to figure out which one you are. Ralph's one of those guys, he's always trying to push the envelope. He looks to be limitless in everything that he does, and so I just challenge him. He steps to the challenge, and I feel great about continuing to challenge him in 2016.
And welcome back to Nashville, Tennessee, the Vanderbilt football spring game. Now, we are not going to see Ralph Webb here tonight. They want to keep him healthy, and they know what they have in him. You heard Coach Mason say that he's limitless. In talking to Ralph Webb this week, he told me, I have a lot more in me. Now, that's despite putting up over 1,100 yards rushing last year, coming off his best season yet. He reminded me, though, guys, spring football is what put him on the map his freshman year. So he does not take this time for granted. And guys, he's actually spreading that work ethic to his fellow backs this year. He said he has spent a ton of time helping some of the younger guys.
Don, thank you much. Terrific performance last year, 1,152 yards, 5 touchdowns. And Cole, you know this, as a former offensive lineman. It's one thing to rush for 1,000 yards when you've got great balance on offense. The defense has to play a terrific passing game. Everybody that played Vanderbilt was focused on number 7 last year, and he still put up 1,000.
Absolutely. He can make it happen on his own. He can make defenders miss. He's great in open space, and I think his versatility, being able to move out of the backfield, catch the ball in the backfield, and defenses needing to be aware of that is one thing that helped open up the space.
Little razzle-dazzle on first down. It's Blossengame carrying for 8 yards. Shermer was back in at quarterback. But going back to Ralph Webb, one of the more dynamic backs in the SEC.
Sneaky through the line of scrimmage. You see the pad level low, and he can finish runs and take the ball to the end zone. He can be explosive. There's the hands out of the backfield. A quality receiver outside of the pocket.
Second down and goal. Blossengame plowing ahead and finds Payberg. Touchdown Vanderbilt. Touchdown for the gold unit for the Commodores by one of the guys they're very excited about, Kari Blossengame.
Just zone play. Back has the option. Cut it either A gap, out of the shotgun, and you see him win the one-on-one in the hole. Taking on Jordan Griffin, linebacker right there in the A gap. And this is what this offense needs. Physical capability to finish plays and finish drives.
Openshaw on for the extra point. He's enjoyed a terrific spring. 27 of 32 field goals and flawless on extra points, and he knocks that one through. So the Gold up on the Black 9-5. There's more great baseball offense here. Passing game with some big plays to get down the field, setting up the run by Blossengame, who they told us is going to be the biggest difference maker from last year to this year. Of course, last year he was a linebacker. Now you've got him on offense, and he adds a whole other dimension to that offense for the Commodores. Last year, keep in mind, Vanderbilt, in the first quarter of the entire season, Cole, they scored 23 points. 23.
Miserable. Not putting yourself in good situations, just like Coach Ludwig talked with us about winning first down and second down. You put yourself in manageable third down situations.
Perfectly thrown ball caught midfield inside the 40 and high stepping out of bounds is C.J. Duncan, who they are so glad to have back. 33 yards there for the junior from Montgomery, Alabama.
Mike, we talk about Kari Blossengame being a physical receiver. Watch the back who gets the fake right there. 23's right side of your screen. Watch him after the catch. Look at him turn on the jets, going on the field, trying to find a block. 20, 30 yards down the field. Look at 23. He wants a block. That's that linebacker mentality on offense that we're talking about. A young man who wants to get downfield and is seeking out contact. He's going to be a big asset for the Commodores offense this fall.
He's flanked to the right of the quarterback, Shermer. Gets the handoff here, probing the left side, and will gobble up about 3. Great lead block there by Jakari Thomas, number 40. Again, if you're wondering how this thing is scored, it's a little bit complex, to be honest with you. Thankfully, a touchdown is still worth 6, an extra point is still worth 1, and we just got to see both of those things. But the defense really has some opportunities to rack up some points of their own.
I think we should give a shout out to Anthony Holman for graphicking the offensive points here. So everyone understood a touchdown is 6 points, a field goal is 3, a 2-point conversion is 2, and an extra point is 1.
Well, it's only the spring. Sometimes we gotta go back to the basics before we move forward. Shermer, some problems corralling the snap, and then winds up taking a loss of 3 on the play.
The center's a position of issue. You had a young man that started every game last year in Spencer Riley. Wide snap again. That throws off the timing of that zone read. I think that's a designed run play. That ball was meant to be handed off. Obviously, snap pulls you away. Quarterback has to try and run. Pfeiffer's one of those guys. They're going to try out at center, but if you can't get those shotgun snaps down, that's the easiest way to exit the lineup.
Third down and long now. Crawford, the lone back. Shermer with time, throws underneath, and that ball's off the fingertips. But Josh Crawford would have been way shy anyway, and Zach Cunningham was right there in his footsteps.
A little pressure coming off of left tackle Will Holden. 3-man rush. Can't give up pressure on a three-man rush. Unacceptable. You saw Sherman try and move up in the pocket a little bit, maybe rush that throw some, trying to get rid of it before those referees blew the play dead.
This will be from 51 yards for Tommy Openshaw. He's got that kind of leg. In fact, his career long is from 59. 12 of 19 a year ago. From the hash. Snap and hold are good, and the kick has just enough to get through. 51-yard field goal for Tommy Openshaw. A young man they feel awfully good about this season.
Snap, nice hold. Wilson Johnson, holder there out of Nashville. Caught it in his chest, able to get it down. Fundamentals, the motion of kicking. Yesterday, Jeff Chinnick, the new special teams coach, he's talking to us about how it's very similar to golf, and you have to have that repetitive motion. And he said that that's one thing that he thought Openshaw was losing a little bit last season, is his fundamentals, his motion was changing, wasn't sticking with a similar follow-through, not worried about the trajectory of the ball as much as you are keeping that same motion as a kicker with your leg.
Jeff Chinnick all smiles right now. Came in from Northwestern, had tremendous success on special teams with the Wildcats. Stankiewicz at quarterback. Go to the ground on first down. Josh Crawford is on a busy night thus far.
I'll tell you, Charles Wright, 47. Not someone we heard a lot about on this defense coming into this game, has repeatedly made plays. Again, they're taking on the tight end, bodies him up, works his way to the inside, the interior of that defensive line, and makes a play. That 47's looked really good so far today for Vanderbilt.
Second down and 7. Split twins. The black, the gold offense in a gaping hole up the middle. And brought down after a pickup of 12 yards. Nice carry there by Jalen Banks, number 24, one of the reserves.
You have to have vision. Watch the cut. Banks understands. Defensive end on the right side of the line of scrimmage right here. Not going to be blocked, so you have to press the line of scrimmage and then make the cut back to your right. If he doesn't press that line of scrimmage there, sprint to the line of scrimmage before making a cut, that allows the defender to come flat and make a play. Nice run.
Banks going to stay in the game here on first down. They'll feed him again, right side. And lassoed down after a modest pickup, maybe squeezed out a couple. Zach Cunningham, number 41, with another tackle for the Commodores.
Left side of your screen, Zach Cunningham, 41, we're taking tight end on. Quick little rip move right around. In the backfield, making a play. That's why this young man led this team in tackles a season ago. He is a playmaker on the edge. 4 forced fumbles, 4.5 sacks.
He was a star in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game coming out of high school, and Alabama has produced some great Commodore players like one Earl Bennett and Larry Smith.
Jordan Matthews out of Madison Academy High School.
Pretty solid list of guys.
Offense 58, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
All right, Cole, there's one of your guys there, Justin School. What happened?
You trying to pick up the pace here a little bit. Coach Ludwig told us in our meetings yesterday they were be a little more up-tempo today, kind of try and go fast. They're trying to get a jump on that defender. It's frustrating.
On second down, quick drop, fires over the middle, complete, and then jarred loose. That's going to be a fumble picked up by the black team, and this is going to be a convoy down the sideline and an easy return for a touchdown for Emmanuel Smith, 89 yards.
Emmanuel Smith, only 10 tackles a season ago, is going to give this defense 12 points. Slant route, thought he had it, thought it was a nice read. Catch made, then ball's just taken away. Nice read on the slant, ball's completed, takes it away. We going
Far
to
be
the
it
replay
from-
booth and seeing he's going to be down, or we're just going to.
Far be it from us to be technical in a spring game, and he
Sure.
would be down there, and that return would not actually count for a touchdown. But give the young man 6 points. Give him 12 points
Oh,
here in the black
double
and
him
gold
up.
game.
Nice play by Emmanuel Smith there. Understanding to go for the ball. Catch is made. Tackle's going to be made. Going to the ground. Ball carrier going to the ground. Try to strip it out. I like the way he attacked the football there.
That was the final play of the second quarter. With the gold now leading it. Make it the black leading it 18-13. So we have reached halftime. Coming up at the half, we'll get a chance to see Vanderbilt honoring one of their greats of all time. Jay Cutler back with the halftime report right after this short break. It's the black for Vanderbilt leading the gold of Vanderbilt 18-13. The annual Vanderbilt spring football game here from Nashville, alongside Cole Kublik, Mike Morgan. Mike Morgan, welcoming you inside our booth here. It is rather chilly. I might say that. That's why my lips are freezing from time to time. Well, you like this weather as a
This
former
football
lineman.
weather here.
Us soft play-by-play guys, not a huge fan. Nevertheless, what we are a fan of is big plays on offense, and we saw a number of them in that first half for Vanderbilt.
Finishing red zone offense also. Punching the football into the end zone. Some didn't happen a lot last year. Consistent accuracy. Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator, telling us it had to happen for this group. Thought the offensive line was pretty good in protection. Make some throws down the field. Receivers went out and made the play. And with your best back out, Ralph Webb, still able to find some space in the run game. The offense looked pretty good early. Couple guys up front. Adam Butler and company along the front seven made some plays for Coach Mason's defense.
Some good plays for the Vanderbilt quarterbacks today. Speaking of Vandy quarterbacks, the best of all time, Jay Cutler being honored here at the half. Here in Nashville.
Commodore fans, please direct your attention to the video board for a special presentation. Vanderbilt quarterback Jay Cutler, one of 9 inductees into the 2015 Vanderbilt Athletics Hall of Fame class. Such induction is reserved for only the elite Commodore athletics. Jay rewrote the Commodore record books as a 4-year starter from 2002 to 2005, setting new marks for career touchdown passes, passing yards, pass completions, and total offense. One of 2 players in team history to serve as a 3-time team captain. Jay's last pass as a Commodore remains one for the ages. A touchdown pass to Earl Bennett, which clinched a victory over Tennessee in Knoxville. Named the SEC's Offensive Player of the Year as a senior, Cutler was selected as the 11th overall pick of the 2006 NFL Draft. He is now preparing for his 8th year as the Chicago Bears starting quarterback. Joining Jay for tonight's ceremony are Vanderbilt head coach Derek Mason and former teammates Stephen Bright, Eric Davis, Richard Freeman, Justin Geisinger, Javon Hay, Matthew Tant, and George Smith. At this time, please give a warm welcome to Jay's head coach at Vanderbilt, Coach Bobby Johnson.
Thank you very much. It is great to be back to Vanderbilt. It's great to be in this stadium. It is great to be on this field. When I became the head coach at Vanderbilt, the players were on Christmas vacation. They got back shortly, and one day one of my coaches came running to my office, and he said, "Coach, I don't know what we have, but I know we have a quarterback, and his name is Jay Cutler." And I said, "Who?" But we found out. Jay was more than a quarterback. He was a great leader for us. He was tough as nails and played that way. And he was a great competitor. Jay, congratulations on your induction, but I want to thank you for the way you played football for Vanderbilt University. Thank you very much.
At this time, we welcome to the microphone Vice Chancellor and Director of Athletics, David Williams, for the official induction.
Thank you. The Athletic Hall of Fame at Vanderbilt is the highest honor we can bestow on an individual. As of today, there are only 56 men or women to receive that honor. Today, I am honored and pleased to induct Jay Cutler as the next member of the Vanderbilt Athletic Hall of Fame. Jay? Jay, on behalf of Commodores everywhere, congratulations and welcome to the Hall of Fame. Thank you. And this is for you too, buddy. Now a few words from Jay Cutler.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out. It means a lot. First, I want to thank Coach Mason for putting this together and letting us interrupt his spring game and his practice. I know they got a lot going on, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I want to thank my teammates, Coach Johnson, his staff. They have much to do with this as I do. They pushed me as a person, as a player. And, guys, I owe a lot to you. Coach, thank you very much. I've been blessed and privileged to play a lot of football in Denver, in Chicago, in high school, but always coming back here with the fans and the Vanderbilt community. It means a lot to me, puts a smile on my face, and I owe a lot to everybody in this university and you guys as fans. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Jay, direct your attention to the video board. Just for you, here's one for all time.
1:40 to go. First down, Cutler to throw from the gun. Stands in, fires a pass on the slant, complete in Tennessee territory to Earl Bennett, who else, at the 48-yard line. Cutler on first down, clock running. Tennessee sends 5. Jay lobs it for the far corner, looking for Earl. He made the catch! Oh, he made the catch and got out of bounds. First down and goal from the 6. Cutler fires, slant pass, caught! It is a Vanderbilt touchdown! It is a touchdown! It's a touchdown to Earl Bennett! Oh, my goodness!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for Commodore Great and Athletic Hall of Famer Jay Cutler!
Great moment for Jay Cutler and Vanderbilt fans alike. Speaking of Jay Cutler, our own Dawn Davenport. We'll talk to him one-on-one when we come back from Nashville. Mike Morgan back with you here in Nashville at halftime. We're a few minutes away from the start of the second half, but first standing by with the 2005 SEC Offensive Player of the Year is our own Dawn Davenport.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, here with Jay Cutler. Seems like you brought the Chicago weather with you here. Congratulations on your induction. You still live in Nashville. You still come back. We see you at basketball games. I know you stopped by spring practices. What do the fans, these Vandy fans and this Vandy family mean to you?
I mean, for my first day on campus, my first day, getting into this university, I mean, it felt like home. The people were so warm and welcoming. I haven't left. Like you said, we still have a house here, still try to stay connected as much as I can. And, I mean, I love everything about this place.
A lot of great memories on the football field as well. We just saw that Tennessee game, which broke a 22-game losing streak for Vanderbilt there. What's your fondest memory?
I mean, that's up there. I mean, just seeing these guys that I played with. I mean, some of the guys I haven't seen for such a long time. During my 4.5 years here, some friendships that are going to last a lifetime, and that's something that you can't take away from. And that's what I really enjoy about it.
Yeah, you had a good number of your old teammates here. I know that meant a lot to you. You look at this Vandy team now. You got 2 young quarterbacks here fighting for a job. What would your advice be to them?
Oh gosh, I mean, I remember being in the exact same situation. Myself battling for a spot my redshirt freshman year, and I mean, every day was like a tryout, and it's nerve-wracking. But I know Coach Mason is pushing these guys a little bit, so my advice was just try to enjoy it. I mean, it's always tough to go out there and fight for a job each and every day, but they're playing football, and it's what you love to do.
Well, Jay Cutler, congratulations on your induction. I know the people of Nashville and Vandy fans love you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Mike.
Great stuff. The young man from Santa Claus, Indiana. Tremendous career at Vanderbilt. Second half of the spring game is coming your way in just a moment. Mike Morgan back with you here from Nashville, the black and gold game. The black actually had that touchdown, that defensive touchdown taken off the board, so 13-12 our score if you're keeping track of that at home. In the meantime, before we get back to 11-on-11 football, some more skill competition. I'm up here in the booth, and down there where it's even a little bit colder, our own former center at Auburn, a guy who knows a thing or two about snapping the football, Cole Kublik. What are we looking for here, Cole? What are we trying to see? I see a Vanderbilt head on top of a trash can.
You have to strip the fumble recovery and a long return from a
Accuracy is key here, Mike. So you want to take a little velocity off. Get that Commodore head off of the trash can. So.
And Davis Winky is going to take a crack at it here. Again, as we talked about at the top, Vanderbilt's special teams were problematic a year ago. So while these drills might not be ratings grabbers per se, they help you become a better football team, and they need to make sure to right the ship on a number of these areas. All right, Cole, let's see if you can provide some inspiration. Not so much there.
A little high and outside there from Winky, 51. Accuracy is key. Don't need the velocity. And I was talking to a couple of these guys, Mike, before we got kicked off here in warm-ups, and they were asking them about the height. Is it ideal, a little bit high, a little bit low? They said maybe a little bit higher than normally they would like.
Jacob Schultz now trying to snap it to a Vanderbilt head on top of a trash can. Words that I've never uttered during the broadcast of a football game.
I think the question here, Mike, is do I, when this thing's all said and done, put the Commodore head on and see if they can knock it off of me with the mascot head on?
Now, see, now you're talking. That's extra motivation.
How many points for that? If it's 12 points for a defensive score, that's got to be what, 24?
24 if you hit Cole Kublik. Come on.
Off the trash can. Nice.
Are we giving full credit because he hit the can and then the reverberation from the trash can knocked the head over?
Points for if he knocks it off the can?
I think it's his first one to get it off.
They're saying just get the mascot head off of the can.
Oh, okay.
And you're good to go.
Well,
so
they just hit
that.
the can. Yeah. I mean,
so you can just roll a worm burner back there.
Absolutely.
A little high and outside there from Winky again.
This is truly historic. I must tell you, I've never seen this drill done quite this manner.
This is SEC Network history here. First time you've ever seen a long snap competition.
It really is. They'll be talking about this 50 years from now. They'll be talking about that Jacob Schultz snap.
Is feeling it.
Yeah, he is. He's in the zone right now, isn't he, Cole?
Schultz has got the velocity, accuracy. You see him take off after the snap. He's acting like he's covering a punt out here. That's how much he's feeling it.
Cole, tell him we're offering double the points if they can hit the head without the trash can. Right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
There it is.
That's it.
Plucked it right off.
That's the daily
Wilson
double
Johnson,
right there.
Excellent job. Excellent job.
Yeah, that's perfect. It just doesn't get any better than that.
That's beautiful.
Wilson Johnson with the long snap of the night. We're going to let Cole back up here now that he has inspired the troops. Wilson Johnson and Cole Kublik. I felt a bond formulating there between those two. So things are going to be mixed up a little bit here as we continue to hodgepodge this spring football game. I feel like we're going back to the battle of the network stars. Here in the second half, teams will start at the plus 40. So at the other side of the field, in plus territory, 40-yard line, then eventually we'll have a field goal competition, and then eventually we'll work our way to the red zone offense. Now we've got some coffin corner punting. Reed Nelson on to punt it away. They actually told us that they wouldn't mind seeing Nelson win that punting job, and even though Tommy Openshaw can do both, as he did a year ago, that would allow Tommy Openshaw to just focus on the place kicking. You see Reed Nelson, a junior out of Hueytown, Alabama, another Vanderbilt player on the roster from the state of Alabama, which has been very good to the Commodores over the years. Openshaw bounces at the 5 and into the end zone. Don't forget, on Saturday, we've got an outstanding baseball triple header for you on the SEC in Tuscaloosa, Tennessee, battling Alabama. The SEC having another tremendous year in baseball, jam-packing the top 25 with several teams. And, of course, looking forward to another great season of college football. The SEC back with the national championship trophy with Alabama. There'll be a lot of questions this year in the Eastern Division, which has been the division that, quite honestly, has been a little bit down the last few years. And one of the issues will be quarterback spots. That's one battle we've got going on here. Think about this. You've got South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, all right now unsettled with the quarterback spot. The one team that does have it settled will probably be a prohibitive favorite, and that's Tennessee with Joshua Dobbs. Reed Nelson back on the punt. The wobbler will bounce inside the 10, and that's perfect execution right there. That's what you want. Watch the ball drop on the nose. Perfect. Get that end over end action. You got the guys down there to get the job done perfectly inside the 5 at about the 1 yard line. This Vanderbilt special teams unit last year on punt returns gave up an incredulous 468 yards. And to put that in perspective, last year, as a special teams coach at Northwestern, Jeff Jenick, Northwestern only allowed 33. 33 compared to 468. Oklahoma gave up fewer than 20 yards total in punt returns. Vanderbilt allowed 468. So when you have an offense that's struggling to score and you have a special teams unit that's continually giving opposing offenses great field position, that is how you have some issues, and that is how you wind up 4-8 overall, 2-6 in the SEC. But if they can shore that up, and if they can figure out the quarterback spot, we've talked about Vanderbilt's defense should be primed for another good year. Derek Mason, that man who's made a living coaching great defense, hired by Jim Harbaugh at Stanford, and coached in 4 consecutive BCS Bowl games while with the Cardinal. The Vandy head knocked down. The snap of the night. Cole Kublik was there to witness it. A great job by Wilson Johnson. We'll play some more football. kicked off here this season, one of 14 spring games that you can see live on the ESPN networks. The Gold leading the Black 21-14 in a rather complex scoring system. Eventually we will get back to 11-on-11 football starting at the plus 40. And speaking of field position, that was a big thing that Coach Jenick talked to us about, how last year it was just abysmal for Vanderbilt. And he's got a motto and he's got a chart on all the different percentages and what a team is going to do depending on where their starting field position is. For more on that, let's send it back to Dawn Davenport.
Mike, Coach Jenick's basically his charge from Coach Mason was to change the culture on special teams. So he came in and he wanted to do it in a visual and a vivid way, he said. And this is his answer, this chart. It's called Conquer the Field. You can find this in every meeting room. You can find it in every single weight room. He's posted it everywhere. So what it is basically is he took their stats from every single 2015 SEC game. He printed out the percentages looking at field position when they allowed an opponent to start. So for instance, at the 0 to 19-yard line, scoring percentage 19%. He said this was really a way for him to show them visually how important it is. He said everybody top to bottom has bought in to this new mentality here. If you are one of the best players on this team, you will play special teams, he says, or you won't play at all.
Dawn, good stuff. I think the most telling numbers there, inside the 20, if you have your opposing offense start inside their own 20, a 19% chance of scoring, whereas 40 or beyond, a 42% chance. Too often last year, Vanderbilt's defense was back on its heels, starting off in that poor field position, trying to defend the short field. Back on offense, back to 11-on-11. Again, the quarterback in right now is Wade Freebeck, battling Kyle Shermer for that starting spot. 6 yards there for Josh Crawford, who's had a busy first half. For joining us late, Ralph Webb, one of the top running backs in the SEC and the leading back for Vanderbilt. Not playing today, just playing it safe. They know what he can do. They're trying to figure out what some of the younger guys can do.
Getting some heavier packages here, Mike, working on some short yardage plays. Here again, 2 tight ends to the right. They'll exchange.
One of those tight ends you just saw in motion, 83, Nathan Marcus, guy that they are raving about this spring. Between the tackles, the handoff to Josh Crawford, the sophomore from Wetumpka, Alabama, gobbles up 5.
Let's take a look at our center and right guard. Nice push there, as you see Torrey H just sort of slant out of the A-gap. That opens up the front side for that run play, and that's where Vanderbilt is going to have to move the chains. Last year struggled with that, creeping up on the red zone. Some problem areas looking to be improved already here in the spring for Coach Mason.
A receiver each way for Freebeck. And the back remains Crawford, who's already run it 7 times thus far tonight. On first down, with a man in motion. They give it on the end around. That's number 10, Trent Sherfield, their go-to wide receiver that time, showing what he can do running the football, picks up 3.
This is a situation, Mike, where Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator, not a lot of rhyme or reason here with play calling. He wants certain plays to be shown. They know good and well this is on the SEC network. Coaches across the league are going to have access to this. They're going to see the plays, the personnel grouping. So why not put a few reverses on here? Why not put a couple trick plays? Put some personnel groupings out there that maybe you're not going to see that Thursday night for the opener against the Gamecocks.
That'll kick things off on September the 1st. 3 wide for Freebeck. With time, going deep down the sideline, turning back and making the catch inside the 5-yard line. A gain of 23 yards. That is number 8, Ronald Monroe.
Soft coverage, look at the blitz come from the right side. Left guard, left tackle, picked that up nicely. Probably want a little more air under this ball, try to get it to that back shoulder. Solid adjustment on the route by Ronald Monroe. Vandy with another chance to score here. This offense, another chance to put the football in the end zone.
No, first down and goal for the 1-yard line. Crawford the back. give it to Crawford, and he is popped and dropped for a big-time loss on the play. Knifing in and making the tackle, that is Caleb Peart.
He's going to come from the left side of your screen, backside on this play. Really both guys pursuing. Here's Peart near side, right there. Big contact in the backfield. That's the thing, you get short yardage, might go on situations. A lot of times it's hit or miss. You turn a body loose on the goal line, you end up with big negative plays like that.
Blassingame now in the game on second down and short here. Second goal to go. Blassingame, they fake it, and instead the quarterback keeps it, and that's a touchdown for Wade Freebeck. Freebeck, who's the more athletic of the two quarterbacks, he and Kyle Shermer battling for that job, scampers for 4, and the Gold puts 6 more on the board.
Zone read fake, tight end motion underneath, really threw off linebacker Jordan Griffin. Watch 43, left side of your screen. He's going to bite down. 43 there, trying to come back outside and make that tackle. Can't get the Freebeck in time.
On a night that Jay Cutler was honored and inducted into the Vanderbilt Hall of Fame. A little bit like Jay Cutler back in the day. He used to run quite a bit at Vanderbilt. Extra point is knocked through by Openshaw. Eased earlier, this is the first of 14 spring football games, and Vanderbilt will go first in the regular season as well. A Thursday night special on September the 1st right here in Nashville against the South Carolina Gamecocks, who were coming off a very disappointing season last year in which their coach, Steve Spurrier, of course, retired in the middle of the season. It's now the Will Muschamp era, and Will's first game will be right here against the Vanderbilt Commodores. Deuce Wallace is the new quarterback, a highly touted freshman out of Sevierville, Tennessee, a young man who threw for over 10,000 yards and accounted for 97 touchdowns in high school, and they believe that Deuce Wallace is the future.
Very athletic, but Andy Ludwig was quick to clarify things yesterday, saying he is a pro-style quarterback.
Right.
That can move. He is not an athlete they're trying to plug into the quarterback position. He understands how to manage a pro-style offense.
Split twins on second down to the ground game. Probing the left side, nothing there for Jair George, another freshman, as we check in with Dawn.
Yeah, Deuce Wallace, guys, coaches speak pretty highly of his athleticism, his game, his leadership. Andy Ludwig describing him as a charismatic presence. I was actually able to take in some practices this week, and he was animated, he was vocal, came off as very confident, but he was still asking questions. He was talking to his teammates, talking to some of the veteran guys, looking to learn. You've seen it down here during the scrimmages, too. He is all eyes paying attention.
And now, so valuable for a lot of these young men as Deuce cocks and fires one complete at the 33-yard line. A pickup of 11.
You see the arm strength immediately, but I like the pocket presence a little bit more, Mike. He feels backside pressure coming off left tackle, move up in the pocket a little bit. Don't panic and run. Understands, doesn't have to leave the pocket right away. Let the route develop. Shoot one downfield, complete a pass.
Deuce Wallace, an early enrollee, and Cole, as you know, that is so valuable when these young men can get right on campus in the spring and get ready for this game.
It's crazy, Mike. That was unheard of 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
The big deal 10 years ago, a decade ago, was how many guys can you get in for summer semester before you begin fall practice? And really about half the guys then were coming in. I think when I reported to Auburn in 1996, we had 3 guys in our signing class come for the summer, and everyone else showed up in August. These kids are graduating high school early, coming in January, able to go through spring practice. So you get acclimated to a full class load. You get practice time. You're around your teammates. And then things sort of drop off in the summer. Don't have to take a full class load in the summer. Take a look at the Vanderbilt 2016 signing class, ranked 48, so a top 50 class for Derek Mason.
Which is progress.
It is, absolutely. And allows these guys to get adjusted to the college life. The pressure of competing is not necessarily there just yet, even though some of these guys might be relied on. It's such a valuable tool. I think Auburn had 9 guys this year. I think Alabama, 6 or 7 guys who were enrolled in January. It's becoming more and more of a popular trend. Kind of makes me think, what's next in college football? We're going to get the first kid to graduate high school a year early and try to go play college ball.
Might be the final play of the quarter. Flushed out of the pocket as Wallace trying to turn it up the sideline. And tiptoes out of bounds at around the 35-yard line, a gain of 6.
I'll tell you, Charles Wright, again, I mentioned to Derek Mason when we were down on the field before the snap competition took place, said, 47, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell us this guy was going to be all over the place. He said, good player, like him, high motor, high intensity guy.
We'll see if we can up the intensity in the final quarter here of the 2006.
All right, boys, let's go. Let's see what we're working with here. All right, good, Ladarius. Bang, strike. Now get out. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. From now on, okay, the front line, when we do this, okay, if we get more of these blocks, okay, next time, Donnie, you're going to go into the wall, okay, and we're going to put 5 250-pounders there and let them run straight at you, okay? Remember now, this is a man scheme. There's 3 guys in the wall, and they're blocking 3 guys.
All right, what kind of back situation we got, Willie? Come on, wake up for me, wake up for me. What kind of back situation? Two back, right? All right, so now if he was an eye backs, right here, what would be our alignment? Right, when he bumped over, this is great by you guys. This is great by you guys. Identifying the situation, good talking, okay?
Oh, that is terrific inside coverage right there. Our SEC crews were here earlier this month to kind of listen in and eavesdrop, and you see some of the new coaches here as the pass is thrown and a nice, trying a scooping catch at the 10, but it falls incomplete. The pass from Wade Freebeck. 5 new coaches for Vanderbilt this year, and the guy at the bottom there is the most intriguing. And Chris Marv, who a lot of Vanderbilt fans will remember, a 2-time captain just a few years ago. He was playing in this game, and now already he is a very highly respected inside linebackers coach.
A lot of intensity. Young coaches can relate to young players. And so much of college football is relationships, relating to your players, understanding how to deliver a message. All these coaches understand what the message is. Can you relate that message to your players and allow them to thrive in your system earlier because they understand the communication process?
Wrapped down for a loss was Blasingame behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 3, and for more on Chris Marv, here's Dawn.
Mike actually covered Chris Marv when he played here at Vandy from 08 to 11. He was a leader, a 2-time captain, a work hard, leave it all out there for your team kind of guy. He is intense. Trust me, I'm watching him this entire spring scrimmage. He's up and down the sideline. He's all over his players. I believe Coach Mason said, when you practice for Coach Marv, you're going to have to put on the full metal jacket. He's that intense. Now, his players say they respect him so much for the way he played the game, for his knowledge of the game, that they don't want to let him down. He is making them a more vocal group.
Dawn, good stuff. As Freebeck flushed out, scampers for a couple. The Vanderbilt defenses tonight, 7 tackles for loss. That'll make that man Chris Marv, as well as the rest of that staff, very happy.
Another bad snap, and you saw Freebeck have to sort of go to the ground, handle the football, and then jet outside of the pocket as pressure came late. So going with Coach Ludwig said, center was a concern. One of the positions that's not been locked up yet on this offensive line, still searching for guys to take over that leadership spot.
Well, Tommy Openshaw has already connected from 51 yards out. This will be from 44. Snap and hold are good. Kick is on the way, and it is plenty good. Another good kick for Openshaw, who's been sensational this spring.
Virtual reality paying off.
Yes.
For Openshaw. They're big on that virtual reality here under Coach Mason at Vanderbilt. Snap a little bit high and inside again, but a nice job on the hole. Openshaw drills it.
Tonight will make the highlights tonight, as well as a full slate of SEC baseball tonight.
I hope so. I was thrilled to be down there and be a part of a historic event.
I wanted to see you snap one, for old time's sake, in a suit.
Well, I don't know if there's a seamstress that could handle the suit pants after that would have taken place, and I don't want to do that to these beautiful fans here in Nashville. Not fair to anyone who's come out to see football. Have to get that for a memory heading home.
That is a fair point. Red zone offense continues with Deuce Wallace out of the shotgun. Hands off. And grinding behind the right side of that line is Jair George, one of those freshmen out of DeMatha High School in Maryland. Picks up 3. Jakari Thomas on the stop for the Black.
One thing so difficult about this defense, especially when it's going to a 3-4, there always appears to be space, but it closes so quickly, just past the line of scrimmage. You saw there on that last zone replay to the right side. Looks as though it's going to be 6-7 yard gain. All of a sudden, back to the line of scrimmage, 2-3 defenders collapse on you. Tough to get a body on a body at the second level. When you're an offensive lineman, linebackers, DBs, safeties, they're all a little bit quicker and more shifty, can get around you and come make a tackle.
Wallace out of the gun, hands it off, and nowhere to run, nowhere to hide for Jalen Banks. Blown up for a loss of 2.
Coming off left tackle, right side of your screen, just quick move down inside. That's Caleb Peart again. We've called number 9's name a few times with penetration. Banks you see also there in the backfield. I like the Derek Mason here. I don't know if I like it or not. He's calling stunts out there. He's walked up blitzes a few times.
Yeah.
Supposed to be spring game. No blitzes, no crazy coverages, no stunts. These guys are slanting. They're walking guys up on the edge. They're bringing blitzes.
There's a friendly competition going on between Derek Mason and Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator, and both admitted they don't know what's coming exactly.
And I think that's one thing that you learn also when you're Derek Mason and you have sort of stepped aside from being the head coach, Mike, and become the defensive coordinator. You still have to understand that you're coaching the entire team. So he mentions to us yesterday how frustrated he's been that the offense, more times than a year ago, more times than he would like, has gotten the better of this defense. That's still a positive. It's still your football team.
Sure.
That's your offense. So Derek Mason has to sort of judge his emotions, weigh his emotions a little bit when his defense doesn't necessarily get the best of the offense because it's his offense.
3rd and long, flushed out again was Wallace, and just throws a short one to Banks for a gain of 6. Jair George, if the name sounds familiar, there's Pops Eddie George, pretty good football player back in the day at Ohio State, a Heisman Trophy winner and a 4-time Pro Bowl selection.
Right down the street. That guy ran through some tackles. Big, tall running back. He put the knee in your chest. It was fun to watch.
You see a lot of hats, scarves, and jackets tonight. It's a chilly one here in Nashville. Going for it on 4th down here, 4th and 3. And a sack coming in unimpeded. Jakari Thomas just didn't account for him, and a loss of 9 on the play.
We talked about Coach Mason's going to bring blitzes. He's going to bring pressure. Right side of your screen appears to be slide protection. They're sliding to the right. You have to take it back, place him to the opposite side of the line of scrimmage, or else you do not have numbers to pick up that blitz. You're dealing with a young man who should still be in high school taking this snap. So it's understandable that maybe that doesn't register with him fast enough. He doesn't quickly understand that he's got to get that back over there. It's a learning process. He'll get it.
All right, like most spring games that we've covered over the years, there's always a good news, bad news scenario. Because if you're doing something well, that means you're doing it against your own team on the other side that's not doing something so well. So in the first half goal, we saw a lot of big offensive plays. We saw some offense get some rhythm, which Vanderbilt desperately needs. In this second half, we haven't seen a whole lot of that.
Yeah, we've seen Derek Mason tee off a little
Yes,
bit.
we have.
He's bringing some blitzes. He's going to slant his guys up front. He wants to get pressure in the backfield.
Freebeck out of the shotgun. 3 in the pattern. Little reverse, and now looking downfield, scrambling, looking to throw. That is Ronald Monroe. Now a penalty flag is thrown, one of the few on the night. He's finally wrapped up inside the 5-yard line after a pickup of 16. For more on Coach Mason, here's Dawn.
Yeah, you guys talking about Derek Mason teeing off in the second half. P.S. At halftime, he told me he was not taking it easy on his offense. He was trying to stop them. He said, I'm way too competitive for that. They were just that good in the first half.
Yeah, we could sense that even meeting with him yesterday. He was licking his chops going head-to-head with Andy Ludwig, who's got a reputation as a good play caller. Coach Mason, who in his first year here did not call the plays. Last year called them, and of course there was a marked difference in the right direction for Vanderbilt defensively, a top 25 scoring defense in the country. But at some point, Cole, to go back full circle to when we started this broadcast, I think we can all safely assume Vanderbilt's going to be good on defense this year. What we don't know the answer to is what they are going to be on offense. At some point, you'd like to see in these final 10, 15 minutes, whatever we're going to play here tonight, some good offense.
I agree, and I think some of the concerns that this coaching staff that we had coming into this game still don't seem to be answered. Center position, as you can see, getting beat on this pass play right here. It's going to be on the center. Ife Lealao is going to come right around center into the A-gap, get pressure on the quarterback. That's a position of concern going into this season, heading into the rest of the offseason. I think where your offensive linemen are going to be, I think there's one true starting offensive lineman with this group, and that's Will Holden. He's got 23 career starts. He's going to be a guy that's plugged in, ready to go. Is he tackle? Is he guard? We don't know. Receiver, I think you're okay. We know who the running back is, so next is quarterback. Who's your quarterback going to be? When is he going to begin to take over this offense, take over this football team, and become not just a guy who's slotted into that position, but the leader that you need to be to manage a football team?
Whoever it is at quarterback, whether it's Wade Freebeck right here or someone else, they've got to have some time to throw. This is second down and long. Let's see if he gets any time here. Vanderbilt rushing forward, bad snap. Freebeck has to scoop it up, and they'll mark him down for another loss. So the offense really taking a step backwards here. We'll see if they can get it going here. More coverage of the Vanderbilt black and gold game from Nashville coming up in the black here in Nashville. Okay, we've defrosted a little bit, so I'll be able to spit out this sentence, hopefully, Cole. We've talked so much about Vanderbilt, and everything is relative. So let's talk about the SEC big picture here, particularly in the Eastern Division. As I mentioned earlier, Vanderbilt is not the only team in this league that has issues or question marks at quarterback. You take a look at Georgia, Florida, South Carolina. Other than Tennessee, I'm not sure if anybody feels terrific about their quarterback spot this year in the East.
You had a couple transfer out as well. Kentucky's going to be in a difficult situation. Drew Barker slotted in to be your starter there as we take a look at the final SEC standings from a season ago. But I agree with you, Mike. Quarterback's going to be the issue. Tennessee, I think that's why a lot of people were just jumping on board saying, they're going to win the East. It's theirs. Will Greer's gone from Florida. Treyon Harris is not a part of the football team for spring. They don't know who their quarterback's going to be under Jim McElwain. South Carolina doesn't have Pharaoh Cooper to line up as a part-time hybrid quarterback anymore. It's going to be a big question. I think Georgia, with a couple veterans on that lineup, even though Grayson Lambert didn't play good football last year, I think having veterans there so you don't have to rely on a true freshman coming in like Jacob Eason, I think Georgia's probably the best spot after Tennessee.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting one. And then you've got Florida and South Carolina. Maybe the winner of that is competing for third, the loser fourth. You just don't know. Right now as Vanderbilt continues to work on their kick drills here, field goal drills, I think that's part of the beauty of the Eastern Division. Look, in the West, we all know where it starts, right? It starts with Alabama. LSU should be good again this year. And who knows how your Auburn Tigers might fare this year under Coach Gus Malzahn. But I think in the Eastern Division, I agree with you. I think Tennessee is the odds-on favorite because what do we look at when we're trying to project things? Returning starters, that's one of the main things, and stability at the quarterback spot. They've got both. They've got two hosses at running back. They've got stud after stud on that defense. So you can see why Tennessee's the favorite, but Georgia's a very talented team. Florida under McElwain made tremendous strides. South Carolina has to have a bounce-back year, you would think, this year as the new era starts with Will Muschamp. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun in the Eastern Division. I think Vanderbilt will be better. They won 2 in the league last year. I think they could certainly improve on that number.
No, I agree with you. I think when you look at these clubs in the SEC East, Mike, and who's going forward, who's going backward, doesn't really seem to be a lot of teams that are taking that step forward. I think for me, I look at Tennessee, like you mentioned. Yes, quarterback, but what about schedule? Middle of that schedule is absolutely brutal. The good news for Tennessee, if you can get through October, it really lightens up there for the last third. That back end of the schedule, much lighter than it is for a lot of other SEC clubs.
Field goal battle continues here. Of course, throughout the season, you'll see them kicking the ball into the net and celebrating its 11th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets. Allstate makes contributions to participating universities. General scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. The kicking is over. I think we've seen enough of that, and I think we're ready to have some more 11-on-11 football. And we'll have that. Some red zone offense, ladies and gentlemen. A place that the Vanderbilt offense hopes to be in a lot this season when we come back. Laura, thank you so much. I'll bet it's a little bit warmer over there in College Station. Great ball game. Great matchup last year. Those two teams were number 1, number 2, and they met for a 3-game series. Second down for the offense. Right now, Kyle Shermer is at quarterback for the Gold. Completes the pass In the flat to Trent Sherfield, their go-to wideout for 14 yards.
Take a look at Kyle Shermer tonight. Big arm. Love his poise in the pocket. Tight spiral over the middle there. Of course, Wade Freebeck can sling it as well. Nice throw there. Back shoulder fade. Let out in front of the receiver just a tad. And off play action. Get the shoulder square. Point that ball down the field. A little bit low, but gets a touchdown out of it. Shows some athleticism off the zone read. Keeper for the score.
Of course, Shermer in on this drive, working out of the shotgun on 3rd down. Commodores will rush 5. Shermer over the middle, threads the needle complete. That'll move the chains at the 15-yard line. It's Guillory on the reception. A pickup of 10. Kyle Shermer, who was number 110 in the ESPN 300 coming out of high school in Philadelphia. Of course, his father is the longtime NFL coach Pat Shermer, who was the interim head coach last year with the Eagles, now the tight end coach of the Minnesota Vikings. So great bloodlines, and a young man who, as just a sophomore, I think sometimes we forget that, he's already very mature. And again, right now, maybe a slight inside track for the starting quarterback job. 7 of 10 thus far tonight, 99 yards. Gets the snap here. Are we going to see another reverse? No, they'll fake it. Keeping it on the ground, galloping past the 10, and finally tripped up at the 6-yard line. That is Blasingame, and you can see some of the explosiveness, why they love this young man.
Oh, just watch him turn the shoulders north and south, fake the reverse. He just wants to get to the end zone. There's no juke. There's no lateral movement. Whether it's a receiver, a corner, a safety, Blasingame's running somebody over when he gets to the open field. He is going to just bring a different attitude to this Vanderbilt offense. Talked to Coach Mason at halftime, and I said, boy, 23 is going to help your offense. You haven't had anybody like that in the backfield. He agreed, said, love the mentality that he brings to that side of the ball.
They really had the luxury to move him because they have some really good linebackers coming back this year. More on that in a moment. First, it'll be 2nd down and goal. Shermer with time. Shermer surveying, now going to tuck it and run, and they'll mark him down at the 7-yard line. Zach Cunningham, we mentioned the first-team All-SEC linebacker, and they will get that man back this year. Nigel Bowden, who 2 years ago led that Commodore defense. Yeah, Poe's young man. Led that Commodore defense in total tackles, so that's a major plus to get him back on that defensive unit. And for more on Nigel Bowden, let's check in with Dawn Davenport.
Guys, Nigel Bowden comes in this year a completely different mindset. He used the word endurance in our conversation. He wants to be able to come back better, stronger. He's dropped almost 15 pounds. He says he's in the best shape of his life, doesn't put anything bad into his body. He's lost that weight with a balanced diet. So he's going to play about 10 or 15 pounds lighter than he did his 2014 when he led Vanderbilt in tackles. Now, he did tell me he really misses Popeye's chicken, but he does feel that his new weight is going to give him the endurance to last the season, and he'll be even more productive than he was in 2014.
Dawn, thank you much. Cunningham, Bowden back, and another guy we haven't talked about much that they rave about. That man right there, Coach Mason, loves number 20, Oren Burks. He believes he might be their best pass rusher this year.
And he's going to roll down to that star position. The young man, Stephen Weatherly, he played that spot last year, leaving early to go to the NFL draft, 9.5 tackles for loss. That led the team. Burks is a kid who will be able to do a lot of different things for this defense. He'll come down, play near the line of scrimmage. You mentioned it, Mike. Rush the passer. He can drop off in coverage. A hybrid player that played safety a season ago and now will spend much more time near the line of scrimmage.
Of course, he'll try and replace the departed Stephen Weatherly, who left after his junior season. Some big shoes to fill, but they believe that young man, Oren Burks, combined with Cunningham and Nigel Bowden. Now, you got some playmakers on that Vanderbilt defense. They are going to kick the field goal on 4th and short. It's a spring game. Come on, go for it, Vanderbilt. They'll kick the field goal. Openshaw, he's already hit from 44 and 51. This is a chip shot for that young man, and he knocks it through to make it 41-31 goal. So the drive stalls for Kyle Shermer and company. They'll settle for 3. As we kind of harken back on what we've seen thus far, Cole Kublik, defense good as expected. What about the offense?
I think Kari Blasingame first sticks out. a linebacker that has been moved to fullback. He'll play some H-back. He might even line up at tight end some, but in single back sets, he can be your power back. He just caught a pass out of the backfield a few plays ago. We weren't able to get to it, but shows versatility there. He can hurt you in the screen game. I think he brings a physical presence to this offense that has been missing. Center's an issue. And that's something that obviously me, being a former center, I'm paying attention to. I've noticed tonight, offensive line hasn't looked great. Hasn't looked great. And Cameron Norcross, who came in from Nevada and Fresno State, he was there the Kaepernick years at Nevada under Chris Alt when they led the nation in rushing. He understands how to bring a physical offensive line to the table. They got a long way to go with this offensive line. The tight ends do look better. We heard a lot about that in the meetings with the coaches. I'm impressed with this group of tight ends. I like Kari Blasingame in the backfield. We know what Ralph Webb is going to be. If they can solve the quarterback situation and get comfortable there, which I think both guys have actually looked pretty good. I've liked what I've seen from Wade Freeback and from Kyle Shermer. But this offensive line, bottom line, is going to have to improve, going to have to gel. They need to find a 5 and go with it. And I think other than that, I've seen a lot of bright spots for this Vanderbilt offense.
Yeah, keep in mind they're playing, of course, without Ralph Webb, without Caleb Scott, one of their top receivers. They have weapons, but as you mentioned, they just have to make sure the blocking is situated. Off left tackle and taking a lick from Jakari Thomas. That's Jair George, the freshman. The next time we see the Commodores will be September the 1st. That'll be a Thursday night special against the South Carolina Gamecocks, two teams that play quite a bit on Thursday nights. We showed you the standings moments ago. South Carolina coming off a hellacious year in which Steve Spurrier retired in the middle of the season, the year in which they lost a number of disappointing games down the stretch. You would expect them to be improved. You would expect Vanderbilt to be improved. That'll be a fun way to kick it off in the Southeastern Conference. 2nd down, 5 to go. Webb settles, fires, completes it. It is to 46, Reese Wilson for 14 yards. And there you see a little bit of that strength there from the quarterback spot. John Webb, a 5'11 sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. Right now he's running 4th string, but trying to show he's got some skills. Coach told us in the meetings yesterday, John Webb has earned some playing time. He's got a number of guys ahead of him, but you battle all spring. You try to state your case that you're in more PT, and so far he's done that. Nice change of direction and a big gain on the near side for Jair George. Looked like his old man on that one, 18-yard gallop.
Keeps the shoulder square, press the line of scrimmage, allow that backside defender to get upfield, and then cut back across the grain. Nice run there by Mr. George.
All right, we got time for 1, maybe 2 more plays here. Game clock is at 20 seconds. You got to go for the end zone, right?
You would think take a shot.
Take a shot.
That's one thing Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator, mentioned to us yesterday. He wants to find more opportunities in games to take those calculated shots down the field.
He's going to be facing a blitz, has to scoop up the snap, throwing it deep down the field, coming back and making the catch inside the 5. That'll stop the clock momentarily. That's Darius Sims. Actually going to call it incomplete, and that is going to be the final play. The distinct horn sounded as we will truly anchor down the 2016 Vanderbilt Black and Gold game has completed. The Gold will triumph 42-31, the final score. And standing by with Coach Mason is Dawn Davenport.
Well, Coach, you told me at the half that you were doing everything you could to stop your offense. You liked what they did. When you look at your quarterback position, what did you learn about those guys tonight?
You know, they did a good job, man, moving the ball down the field. They managed the game. I thought they made the throws that they should have made. And they kept our offense moving. They gave us points, so I liked it.
In the second half, your defense certainly stepped up to the plate. You told me you wanted to see them compete. What did you like about their performance?
Well, I thought when I gave them an opportunity, even to rush the passer, and we did that. We gave up a couple too many explosive plays, but when it's all said and done, we got better. Nobody got hurt, so I'm a happy man.
Nobody got hurt. That's always the key for spring. Right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Don, thank you much. And the Vanderbilt defense picking up where it left off from a year ago. 8 sacks, 13 tackles for loss. Cole, that's really where it all starts for this Vanderbilt squad.
I agree, Mike, and I think we saw some playmakers up front, some bulk on defensive line, some playmakers on the edge, and this offense has a little bit of way to go, but I saw improvement.
Don't forget 13 more spring football games showed live on the ESPN networks. In the meantime, let's send you to the Diamond. Tom Hart and Kyle Peterson from College Station. It's LSU and Texas A&M.